we will basically talking about this some sample questions, basically getting an input data from the user, processing it, and then outputting that. Now, there's one more issue about topic about this part, which is typecasting. So in Java, well, it's not like Python that you just assign a different value, then it just changes its type. Like in Python, you can say a is equal to 5, then you can say a is, I don't know, some textual value, then I can convert it back to float number, then string again. So I can just play with the data types. But in Java, we cannot do that. So, but we are allowed to do some casting from some particular data types to others. So what it means is, well, we can do either a widening the widening casting, which means that we are converting a smaller type to a larger type. Like if I have a byte, converting it to short, or to char, to int, to long, float, and double. So it's, as you know, byte is 1 byte, short is 2 bytes, char is 2 bytes, integer is 4 bytes, long is 8 bytes, and so on. So we are actually widening that, converting a smaller type to a larger one. And also the opposite one is we take a larger data type and then we convert it to a smaller one. This is now narrowing it. But we are not extremely it's not that easy actually to do that. We have limitations, and one of the reasons is that like double is like, for example, you have an 8 bytes, and how can you represent it with 4 bytes, let's say integer? So there will be, of course, information loss. Now let's do an example. Let's say that we can say int k is equal to 3. So this is for widening. Integer is 4 bytes, so I have this data, and then I can say double c is k. So it is automatic casting. I can just say c double value is an integer value. It is doable. Why? Double is larger value. So I have more space actually to keep this 4 bytes. So I don't need to do anything else. And when I print k, it will print 3. When I print c, it will print 3.0 because it's a double one. But I can easily do that. I don't need to worry about what will be the data. But in the narrowing part now, things will be different. Well, when I say double value, my double value is like 5.67. And then if I immediately say my integer is my double, then I will get an error, a compiler, and then I say that no, you cannot do it because one of them is double, the other one is an integer. And what I'm actually trying to do is like I have 4 bytes here and 8 bytes here, and then I'm trying to squeeze that 8 bytes to there, which is not possible. So that's why I'll get an error message. But if you really need that, okay, I really want this integer, okay, I really want to convert this, then yeah, you have to specifically say that I want to cast it. That's why we put these parentheses and then integer. It means that, yes, I know that this is double, but I want to convert it to an integer. If you force Java to do that, what will happen is, well, when we print the double value, it will print as it is, like 5.67. But when I try to print the integer, then I'll just get 5. So that decimal part will be excluded, so it will not be included in integer values. Shall I proceed? Now the other part is the Java packages. So in Python also you are very familiar with that. So Python provides lots of libraries. Java also does that. So we can import those packages already implemented functions or classes into our program so that we don't need to.
This one, software engineering?
No, change.
No,
C50
you have to go to C150. So we can import it so that we don't need to re-implement all this stuff, so we can use it in our program. Also, we can use also these packages to categorize your data. Well, this might be useful, especially for object-oriented programming, because when you are working in a professional program, what you will end up with is you will have hundreds of classes. Like think about that. For instance, we are trying to implement an e-commercial website, like at Amazon or so. Okay, and what type of things we might need? Like probably some classes for the products, some classes for the bank transaction accounts, for the customers, for the database. We have all these AI models probably to recommend, do you want to buy this, do you want to buy that? So we need some AI tools for that. Maybe we need a search engine so that it will be to find the products and so on. So these are all related to our software, but they are very different things. So I might need to categorize it. Then we might say, okay, we might do this packaging. We also do this packaging, like AI package. In that AI package, I will put all my AI module code in that. And then, I don't know, for the database, maybe I will put a database package, and then I will put all my database operations in that, so that everything will be much more organized. And it is, again, easy. When we are talking about this, we are not talking about some simple course projects or homeworks. We are talking about really big problems like the professional ones. Then these things will be needed. But of course, when you are doing a homework, probably you might not need it. Like if you have only 5 classes, no need to package it probably. But if you have really a huge number of classes, then it will be needed. And Java has its own built-in packages like I don't know, Java Util, Java IO, Lang, and so on. So you don't need to do any other thing, but you can also download external libraries. Like, let's say, I don't know, you might want to use, there's a program, they provide their API, they provide a JDK, so you can download it, and then you can import it to your program, and then you can use their functions and so on in your application. So you can also use it in that way. How we can do it? Well, import is a keyword, and then we are basically saying that we want to import the scanner class into our program. And in our classes exams, I will never ask you for these import statements, so you don't really need to memorize it. I don't think that is useful information, because current applications like Eclipse and so, they do it usually automatically. And so you, in the quizzes or the midterms, you don't need to write, okay, I need to import this message and so. I will always assume, okay, you imported what is needed, okay? So you don't need to memorize that. And, well, for a more resource for this class, well, you can always check W3Schools, javapoint.com, and so on, some other websites. If you want to just need some more explanation or some sample questions and so on. The slides will be also on the blackboard, so you can also just click that. All right. Do you have any questions so far?